Hello guys and welcome back to the channel and today it's the third EFL League One show. Joined here again with Harry and Zach. How are you both?
Not bad, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. And yourself, Harry?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Bit quite knackered from last night, but yeah, I'm not bad, mate.
Yeah, around 6 hours there and back to Exeter. Was it
Uh,
a long
I'll,
long drive?
I'll be honest, I can't even remember, mate. All I know is I was still recording stuff at like nearly 3:30 in the morning. So yeah,
Yeah. Do your match reaction at half 3?
yeah, around that time, yeah,
Yeah, so you must be knackered then.
a little bit, but I'm all right.
Yeah.
Funny enough, actually, where I'm sitting now downstairs, and I actually passed out down here. I do that sometimes quite a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, well, I mean, a 1-1 draw. We will actually start with the 1-1 draw, as I mean we're on that topic, I guess. Your thoughts on that game, Harry? Would you say it was a decent point?
I mean, going into the game, obviously, speaking to you privately and that as well, I said it was a must-win. Obviously,
Yeah,
the Wickham game at the weekend for me, the first half was acceptable in terms of the play and stuff. At times, should have got into the box a little bit better and quicker, but then we had chances against Wickham in that first half, and before they even scored, we could have scored like 2 goals. And don't get me wrong, they scored the worldie of a goal, Wickham, to make it 1-0 at the time, and we had the chances even after that, after they scored for the rest of the
yeah,
first half, really. And then obviously half time, you're thinking, okay, we've had all them chances. We're surely going to get more in the second half, and we're at least going to take a point from this game, and if not even three. I mean, Wickham weren't even all that. They really weren't. I mean, they just scored. Obviously, we'll come on to that quickly now. I mean, the second goal, obviously, Brad Collins spills it. I said what I said about him. I did grill him a little bit, but I did it in a respectful way as I possibly could. Because that's not the first time he's done that this season. He's done it in 2 other games as well. So they and obviously make it 2-0 from that, Wickham, and then the third goal. I mean, that's this sums the day up really. I mean, George Evans, who I don't fault him for the goal at all, really, to be quite honest with you. The third goal, he loses the ball just outside their box, and somehow Wickham kick it all the way up the field, pretty much to our nearly our box, pretty much. And
yeah,
obviously Nathan, low experienced player, is on loan at Wickham till the end of the season. He slots away, and our defenders are all over the place and nowhere to be seen. So that was poor, and like I say, second half weren't good enough, and it was shocking. And I really called it out after the game, and as I say, I thought last night's game, the 1-1, as we're talking about now in Exeter, I thought we had to. It was a must-win unless there was a genuine, valid reason why it weren't the case. If it was a draw or a loss, for example, and obviously it was a 1-1, and we played quite well, to be honest. It was an end-to-end game, and it was one where I come out of it afterwards and thought, you know what, it's actually not a bad point. Rotherham drew as well. And I mean, if Rotherham won and we drew, that wouldn't look at that great. However, considering, of course, I've said they did draw and we drew as well, it has. I mean, as an overview over the game though last night, like I say, it was quite end to end. First half, we started off the better of two sides in terms of like the first 10 minutes or so, really on the front foot, same as the game before. Um, Against Wickham, and Shade had a couple of chances on another day. Well, to be honest, they weren't like clear cut. Like he literally like moves on the left and cuts in on
yeah,
his left foot, weaker foot to strike the balls, and he's just unlucky there. Um, Unfortunately, he didn't score a couple of chances he had there, but I don't blame him. They weren't like the easiest of chances at all, by any means. So, yeah, I mean, we had a few more in that first half, a little well at times. I'd say. I mean, Exeter were quite strong in that first half as well and they had 2 goals in the game overall ruled out for offside. I ain't looked at the replays of them. I think one certainly is, and the other one it probably is. I just haven't seen the replays. But yeah, obviously going into the second half, Captain Godwin Malife said on like my reaction after the game that he's in the top 3 players at the club. He's he's a true captain, and yeah, even at 2 in the morning last night, he spoke to me after, like outside of his car for about 5 minutes while he was inside his car. I was out of it, but still, like that, I think that just shows what a true man he is on and off the pitch. And he scored that belter of a goal, probably potentially his best goal he's ever scored in his career. And yeah, I mean that was good. I mean, and then Exeter went up the other end, got a goal from a cross, and like I can't remember if it was a header or a tap in or something, but I weren't even annoyed at that, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
say there was fight there was passion there, and they gave their all. So I couldn't, like I said on the reaction, like near the end of it, it's nearly half free. I'm still talking, and there's no way I can even bash the side's performance really when they've given their all. And George Evans, I mean, obviously again, I'll come back to it, I've said it already, but over on my side, but he's had a right turnaround since obviously Andy Cannon, who is on loan from Wrexham at Burton, has come into the side. Obviously, them two played together at Wrexham, and yeah, he's just like I did scrutinise him a little bit this season. It was nothing against him. He's an experienced head, and I expected better. But ever since Andy Cannon's come in, he's been really good. And in the last 2 games, he's been our best player. Wickham away, and obviously last night against Exeter. So yeah, and Shade, man, I talk about him all the time. I say first half he was impactful, but then second half he was even more impactful. And to be honest, he looked like a high-end championship player in that second half last night. And even him, like I think even he knew deep down that it was potentially a must-win game. Obviously, depending on the Rotherham result and stuff. So, and he was frustrated when we had like a clear chance through on goal. We should have scored from Kyron Lofthouse. I don't blame him at all. If that was roles reversed, I know Kyron Lofthouse's right wing back position this season, and obviously he's like kind of a winger type of player when going forward. But he has scored goals this season, Kyron, and he's got a lot of assists to his name. He's had a great season, but he's got to score that. And if roles are reversed, and that's Shade doing that, and obviously I've got that shot on the vlog. If you put Shade in that position, he does that, he'll get a lot of stick. So, but it's one of them. I wasn't going to go on at him for missing it because, as I say, passion there, fight there, and they gave the all. So, in the end, I think it was a fair point. I would say if either team deserved to win, as I've said a little bit on these League One show episodes so far about a lot of the games. Obviously, barring Wickham, we definitely did not deserve that. I mean, first half we did, second half we didn't. But yeah, we didn't overall in that. But this one, fair point, but could have won on another day. But yeah, I'm happy overall.
Yeah, as I say, obviously a decent point for both teams, and where you are in the league now. Are you satisfied with where you are currently? Sat 4 points away from the bottom four, 17th. What are your thoughts on that league table?
Well, it's actually funny you say that because I looked at the table like before I started recording when I got home last night from the game, and I was looking at Luton in particular, who are 10th, I'm pretty sure, and we, a couple of wins, and I'm not going to lie, they've got shocking league form really recently, Luton, and I can't lie, I don't think they're really going to do much in the league. I won't be surprised if they keep on losing a couple of games. If we can somehow win a couple of games in a row, we're only like 4 or 5 points off them or whatever it is. If that is the case, say if we win 2, they lose 2. So, I mean, 10th would be unreal. Like, I can't lie, I don't expect that at all. Personally, looking at the league, I think 13th or higher would be a very impressive achievement. However, I even think 14th and higher would be impressive. And I can't remember, but I think I said to you we'd finish 14th. And I would take it. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like 15th, 16th. But, last season, we're on the brink of going down to League Two. And somehow, a miracle, obviously, Gary Bowyer, Burton Albion manager, can't credit him enough. You can't bash him. Whether people think he's a little bit arrogant or not, I mean, to be fair, it's good to have arrogance in a way, because if you don't, you're just going to get walked all over. So, yeah, I mean, he's done well for himself, and he's obviously got Burton to where they are today. And don't get me wrong, the players have to perform on the pitch, but he has to implement all of that behind the scenes and that, and he has to all then go into one really. So it's credit to him and the players. But yeah, he's done a great job since he's come in, and yeah, we're not going to go down, man. You've got too many good players, especially like I say, I mentioned obviously obvious ones already: Shade, Dokes, Lofthouse, and obviously I've mentioned before Beasley. And there is others as well. Charlie Webster, he looks like he's coming back from injury in the next, like, maybe I'd say, a couple of weeks max now. But it could be a week or two. So you never know. He might surprise us and be on the bench the weekend. So we'll see, man. But yeah, we'll be fine. And I'm the way that the points are. We're not even far off now from where we finished this time last season. So, well, not this time last season, but at the end of the season, should I say, we're not that many points off that points we got. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say obviously a couple wins, 2 or 3 wins in a row. I mean, that could take you, 12th, 13th, looking at the league table currently. Obviously around, the 46, 47 mark is the points, probably the minimum. I said last week that I think the minimum would be 45. I think that is too low. I think the minimum now is at least 47. I think you've got to at least get 47. And I think 50 points, you are safe. So yeah, decent point for Burton. Got Stevenage next. We'll come on to that when we do our predictions later in the video. So yeah, we'll come on to the games that happened on Saturday. So some just standouts there. Barnsley with a nice 3-1 win. Northampton picking up a really good point against Peterborough. What are your thoughts on that one, Harry?
What, the Northampton Peterborough?
Yeah, the 1-1 draw.
Not really a result that suits either side, really. I mean, if Peterborough wanted really any chance of the playoffs coming in the season, I mean, that's the game you need to win, really. I mean, I know Northampton have got to fight for their lives and stuff, but even in those certain types of games, even like, I'll give an example. So obviously I know it's a bit different. I know Peterborough are like more mid-ish table, trying to push towards them playoff spots come that game. And Northampton were obviously, fighting for relegation. But an example, obviously, in the Premier League, Wolves played Aston Villa that weekend, and obviously Wolves beat them, and which was a disastrous result for Villa. So really, I mean, out of two, I mean, I don't think either Northampton or Peterborough would be happy with it, really. I mean, Kevin Nolan, he's trash. I mean, how he's still in the job. Great as a player, got nothing but respect for him on that. But as found out, players like Wayne Rooney managing football clubs, you can be a great player. It doesn't mean you can be a great manager. And sometimes you get lucky, and you can be good at both. Like, for example, players like Frank Lampard and Michael Carrick. But I can't really think of many others, to be quite honest, that have achieved in some caliber type of way like they have. So yeah, I mean, he's got to be sacked sooner rather than later if they're going to stay up. Either, obviously, from like a Northampton fan, that they can't actually afford to sack him. So when I went on live on TikTok, so I just talked about football and stuff in general, and randomly that day, one person out of many that are in there was a Northampton fan, and he told me that. So yeah, I think they're doomed. Obviously, the only way, obviously, that does happen, and if he goes to the club before the end of the season, well, looks at it, if he walks, or Northampton somehow like figure out the courage to sack him, even though it might put him in shit. But what would it do? Put him in more shit going down to League Two, or would it be shit if they stayed in League One? I think definitely, staying in League One would be better than going down to League Two. Because I personally think getting out of League Two is harder than League One. Personally, I can't lie. I think they're both hard leagues, but League Two especially. And that shows with obviously like Bromley have done this season and that. So, yeah, I don't think either side would be happy with it. And I think, to be honest, Peterborough definitely won't finish in the playoffs. I think Northampton are definitely down this season as it stands. So, yeah, obviously 1-1, but it sounds like a boring game by the sounds of it as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, obviously the relegation area is so tight. I mean, Northampton 23rd, 35 points. Then obviously they're only 8 points away from 14th. So I mean, if they can get together a couple wins, they might be outside of the relegation zone. But obviously, they just haven't been. They've just been lacking quality. Haven't won in a while as well, and yeah, and I think us staying up this season will be really hard. I mean, obviously we are 10 points away, but I just think with so many teams being so close, so tightly congested, I just think it'll be an even more challenge because obviously we're fighting for 20th. We're looking at, we're trying to get the points lower. We're trying to get to at least 7 points on Saturday because obviously 10 points is the gap now. We want that to be. We're chasing Blackpool at this point. I'm not really fussed about Rotherham, Northampton. We're just chasing Blackpool, who are 20th. But obviously, I think with that, I think it's that Blackpool that it could just change in a game. If Blackpool win, then we're chasing Wigan. If Leighton Orient win, I mean, looking at the table on my phone now, it's just so tightly packed. I mean, you can't really call the relegation battle. It's just so hard. And yeah, any one of those 14th or below teams, I think, could be in that relegation zone come end of the season. So yeah, it'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously we talked about the Wycombe Burton one, Cardiff thrashing Doncaster, likewise Lincoln thrashing Blackpool, Rotherham with a really good win over Plymouth. I don't think Plymouth will get playoffs now, to be honest. I think chances of them getting playoffs are doomed. Vale, Luton, we'll come on to that now. Zach, will get you in now. What are your thoughts on the Vale v Luton, the 1-1 draw?
It was exciting game to watch.
Yeah.
We had. It was. I thought Luton could win the game, but I'm happy to get points against ex-Premier League team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
fair enough. I thought, to be honest, both teams had the chances, and I think a draw, to be honest, was a fair result. Good point for us. And yeah, to be honest, there were not really much key talking points in the game. I just thought a draw was a fair enough result. Thought it were a decent game to watch as well, which is good. And then yeah, 5-1 Bolton win, and Reading picking up a massive win against Bradford. Then we come to the midweek games. Obviously, Exeter Burton 1-1 draw. Rotherham picking up a point against Mansfield, and Wycombe beating Barnsley 1-0. So we'll have a look at the table now. So look at this top two. Nothing much has really changed, to be honest. The gap's still 10 points. Bolton played a game more than Lincoln and Cardiff as well. I just think Cardiff and Lincoln are both getting in the top two. I just can't see how any of them are gonna slip off form. Your thoughts on that one? Let's start with Zach.
What was that? Sorry.
Your thoughts on the top two
Oh,
being 10 points clear, Cardiff and Lincoln.
Cardiff need to win more games. I reckon Lincoln could be champions in this
Yeah.
week.
I think obviously Cardiff that loss against Plymouth, obviously a tough loss to take, but obviously they bounced back quite well. But I actually do think Lincoln potentially could be the champions, but I think it's a bit early. I think give it 4 or 5 games, then maybe a gap might start opening up. But are your thoughts on that one, Harry?
Honestly, I've said this to Cardiff and Lincoln fans that are on TikTok Live. I like just, like I say, talk about football as a whole. I tend to get mostly League One teams fans come in it, and I've said to both sets of fans that game between Cardiff and Lincoln, whoever wins it will win the league. And for me, This is genuinely what I think for that game. I think it could be level with like 20 minutes to go, and Lincoln are bringing all them fans behind that goal. And I honestly, genuinely think, and apparently they haven't played like this much Cardiff, and they do stay on the front foot. However, I think a draw in that game would be better for Cardiff and Lincoln. And if, like I say, if it's 20 minutes to go, I could generally see Cardiff trying to sit back, and I think Lincoln will be all at them in the last like 15, 20, even 10 minutes plus stop time of the game. And I think Lincoln are going to win there 2-1. And I think they will win the league. I've said that to both sets of fans. Like I say, and yeah, I don't know. I just can see Lincoln winning. I wouldn't be surprised if Cardiff did, and I can't lie. I mean, I think you personally got to class that as Cardiff have bottled the league if they don't win it, because I swear they were had a decent points gap up there at one point, and they've just like, I mean, especially ever since they, like, I'll be honest, when they played us at the Pirelli, just as an example, we should have beat them that day, and it was a draw in the end. But I feel like ever since then they have not really been the same either. I mean, they were dropping off a little bit before that, but especially since then, they have just not been the same at all. So that's a massive game, and whoever wins that will win the league for me. I really do think that.
Yeah, when we played them on the second game, our first home game of the season, we were so good. I mean, it was a 0-0 draw. How we did not score, I do not know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to visit Cardiff soon in April. Be a good away day, or only the second away day. So yeah, should be a good one.
Yeah.
And I actually do think, I mean, to be honest, I put my money on Lincoln currently to go and win the league, but I mean, I can't say 100% because it's just so close and it could go either way. All it could take is a couple losses for either team, and then I think if Bottle, I mean, if Cardiff bottle, as I say, I think they probably have bottled it if they do come second. There's no way they're finishing third. But I do think if Cardiff come second, I do think they have bottled it because Cardiff have been, the leaders for most of the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. The top six, I mean, Huddersfield coming out of the top six. Wycombe come into it after a good run of form. Reading also coming into the conversation, and Stevenage with an important win. I do think Luton, Peterborough, Plymouth, Barnsley don't have a chance now. I thought potentially maybe the Luton, Peterborough, and Plymouth had a chance, but with them dropping points to teams like Peterborough dropped points to Northampton, Plymouth lost to Rotherham. I mean, I just don't see it happening now. So yeah, it should be a really interesting top six as well. And obviously the relegation scrap, we've talked about this so many times. It just changes. Each week. I mean, Northampton are 23rd. They could literally be like 19th next week. They could be out of the relegation zone. So it's going to be an interesting one this season. I think the season's been so entertaining. I mean, it's just so close between the top two, the top six, and the bottom four. So it should be a good last day of the season. I'll tell you that one. So last week we did predict the games as we were doing a little like competition of who can predict the most. So last week I got 2 games right. Harry got 2 games right. Zach with 0 correct.
What?
Yeah, it's okay, Zach. Another chance to get.
Oh God.
You can get one this week. So last week, obviously, I was putting the scores in, and yeah, some of them were wrong. So hopefully, we can actually the computer will actually be all right, and we can get them in properly today. So let's go on. Vale obviously don't have a game as we got FA Cup on Sunday against Sunderland. Oh God, I've just seen who's playing. Oh no, Cardiff Lincoln. Wow. Before I predict on that as well, I don't know how far it is between Lincoln and Cardiff, but if that were a couple hours, 2-3 hours, I'd be fuming it if it got put on at 12:30. I mean, I'd just be absolutely fuming if because we're going Cardiff. We booked a hotel as well because we're seeing family over there. If that got changed to a 12:30 game, we would be absolutely fuming. We would be off our rock. We'd be absolutely fuming. So yeah, I don't like Sky, to be honest. But yeah, actually going on to the predictions. Cardiff Lincoln. Wow, I mean you did already give your prediction before Harry, but is the 2-1 still going to stand?
Yeah, 2-1 Lincoln, mate. Yeah.
Right. Zach, what are your predictions for this game?
Oh, I'm going to go for 2-1 Lincoln.
Oh, the same as Harry. To be honest, I really don't want to go for a draw here because I think I just want one team to win and just pull ahead of that a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna go 3-2 Lincoln. I'm gonna go a bit of a crazy prediction. I'm gonna go 3-2 for that one. The next half-time game is Huddersfield Rotherham. This one's an interesting one with Rotherham. Obviously, picking up a couple decent games. Obviously, that win to Plymouth and then a draw to Mansfield. A couple decent results. Zach, let's start with you. What are your predictions for this one?
What was it, sorry?
Huddersfield Rotherham, your predictions on that one?
Ooh, I'm going to go for a 3-0 Huddersfield win.
3-0 Huddersfield win. Comfortable win for Huddersfield, that sounds like. Harry, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm going to go for 1-0 Rotherham, mate.
Oh, wow. 1-0 Rotherham.
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be interesting. They might even go out of the relegation zone for that one, if they did win that one. Do you think Rotherham will stay up? Or do you still think they're going down?
Honestly, I thought they were dead and buried, and obviously I said like, in the last show they're the worst team in the league. But I'll be honest, my opinion of that's changed again. I think Northampton are the worst team in the league. I'm being serious. I mean, we'll see, innit? I mean, I just think they got a good needed much win in their last game. Well, obviously not. Obviously last night, but obviously at the weekend. Then they got a draw. So I don't know, man. I could, Huddersfield lost their last game, and yeah, I don't know. I could just see Rotherham. See it being really scrappy, a really shit game, and Rotherham just hit him on the counter and just score and just nick a 1-0 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it can just change. I mean, obviously, as I said, with this league, it can just change in a week. Obviously, as for you, obviously, the worst team in the league now for you is obviously Northampton. Obviously, that's changed in a week. So it is really interesting to see how everything changes. My score prediction for this one, I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. Decent point for Rotherham.
I do think though it's a game.
Huddersfield.
I do think it's a game both teams need to win. And I don't think either team it's good. I mean, a point for Huddersfield, depending on results, might not be bad. However, they're playing Rotherham, man, and they won't be happy with that personally. But Rotherham need to win. They have to win the game. That they can't draw the game personally.
Yep, fair enough. Coming on to Bolton Wickham. This one's interesting. Obviously, Wickham sneaking into that top six. I'll start with this one. Should be an interesting game. Wickham are away. I mean, I'm going to go the home advantage. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Bolton Wanderers win. Harry, will come to you next. Your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I said at the end of the vlog I did for Wickham and the reaction or whatever it was, one or the other, that I don't think Wickham will finish in the playoffs and they won't go up to the Championship. But if they beat Bolton away, I mean, to be honest, I think that gives them every chance. I just don't know, man. Oh, damn. I'll go for
What we
2-1
going
Bolton.
for?
I'll go 2-1 Bolton.
2-1 Bolton. Similar
Yeah.
to me. Just goal for Wickham. Zach, your prediction for this one?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Ooh, 1-1 draw. Decent point for Wickham, that.
That's what I was going to say, but I was thinking back to the Wickham Burton game, and I just think, no offense to our players, I think we've got a very underrated squad, and he's possibly going to the Championship in the summer. But I've come out and said he needs to stay for one more season before he goes. But what was I going to say? If Bolton play, obviously start the game like we did against them, they could easily score a couple of goals quite early, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, as I say, like Wickham, to be honest, I've never really seen them as a team that will be challenging up there, really. When they came to us, I thought they were pretty poor. I thought it was a terrible game, to be honest, but I thought they were pretty poor. It'll be interesting. Obviously, we have got Wickham coming up soon, so it'll be interesting to see, to have another look at them and see where they are in the league around about them as well.
I mean, that season, though, where it was Sunderland Wickham in that League One playoff final, Wickham were trash that day. And obviously, that Akinfenwa, that was his last game for him. And
Yeah.
I said, like, even because I actually went to the game and vlogged it just as a neutral, I was in the Sunderland end. And I was saying to Sunderland fans just before he kicked off, I said, whoever loses this game will be stuck in League One for a while. And that's obviously happened with Wickham.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that whoever lost that day, Sunderland would have lost players after that season if they didn't go up.
Yeah.
And obviously Wickham did as Wickham did. And obviously Ainsworth was in charge at that point. And he's obviously nowhere near that level anymore of a Wickham type of side. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'd say the top six is just so interesting. I mean, no one can really call it. But yeah, moving on to Stockport, Mansfield. Mansfield dipping in form. Stockport get very inconsistent. Stockport must-win game for them. Mansfield, they're just there to just try and at least pick up a point. Zach, we'll start with you. Stockport Mansfield prediction.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 Stockport win.
2-0 Stockport win. Sounds comfortable. Harry, what are your thoughts on this one?
I've just looked at the results on my phone for both teams. And obviously Mansfield drew against Rotherham in a way. I don't know, because Rotherham fighting for their lives, so maybe they would have took that. Obviously, they drew 2-2 against Wimbledon, and then obviously Stockport lost to Stevenage. Do you know what? I'll just go for it. Why not? 1-1 draw, mate.
1-1 draw. Good result for Mansfield. That. My score prediction. I think this game is a must-win for Stockport, just to cement the place in the top six. As for Mansfield, obviously they're dipping in form, and they need to win soon. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Stockport win, though. I just think that Mansfield, they're dipping in form. I don't think that form will change. Will change for the Stockport game. I think they got too much quality, Stockport. So yeah, I'm going for a 3-0. 3-0 win for Stockport. Moving on, then we got Luton versus Reading. Tyler's team Reading. Luton, sorry. Oh no. Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tyler's team Luton up against Reading. If Luton wants any chance of getting in the top six, this is a must-win game. 100% must-win game. As Reading obviously fighting for that top six as well. Harry, will come to you for this one, as this is probably a standout game.
I mean, I'll quickly acknowledge what you just said in terms of like responding to about Luton top six chances. For me, they're dead and buried. I mean, they're having for a fair while, and I mean, a lot of their fans thought obviously that Wigan away game would be potentially a bounce back in terms of kicking on and potentially trying to get the last spot in the playoffs come the end of the season in 6th place. And I lost that. But then when they played Burton and when we scored that late equaliser, that was it for me. That was finito. I don't see them doing anything in this game though against Reading. Reading, they're not. I don't think they've got Marriott for the rest of the season. That's a massive blow. They've still got that wing, who's a good player. Could he be enough to get them into the playoffs? I'm not too sure. Wing is more of like a winger. Funny enough, wing and winger. That's weird, isn't it? Jesus Christ. But yeah. God. I mean, Tiedemann Mengi is out for this season, I think, as well for Luton. So yeah, they're definitely not finishing the playoffs for me, especially with him out. And even if there was any sort of like little bit of tiny tad conversation for them about it, no chance. As I say, Burton ended up for me with that 1-1. And this game, I really don't know. I think it'd be such a shit game. 1-0 Reading.
Yeah, I could see that 1-0 Reading. Much needed for Reading just to get themselves around that top 6, maybe even sneak into that top 6 area. I think coming on to your point about them being dead and buried, I do think they will be dead and buried if they do actually lose this. I've still got a tiny bit of maybe they can get a top 6 finish. Just depends on other results. They just need Wickham, Huddersfield, to lose. And obviously Stevenage to lose against Burton. As I can see at the table here, they are 6 points. So they're not too far, but obviously they're gonna have to be on like a 3-4 game winning streak, and then maybe they can be brought back into the conversation. But I'm gonna keep Luton's hopes alive of a top 6, and I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Luton win. Zach, your thoughts on this one? Luton versus Reading.
Ooh, I'm gonna go for a positive one. 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I mean, Luton. I mean, they take that. It's a point. It's a point, but I mean, I don't think it is good enough. I think it is a kind of must win.
I mean, what I will say is as well, and this is no offence to you lot, right? But if Luton can't go to Port Vale away, and like what I will say is when we played you, it was it's basically classed as a little bit of a derby. So in that regard, and let's be honest, Luton are practically better than they should be better than us on paper, but obviously we drew at them. But if Luton, and this is like I say respectfully to you guys, if Luton can't go to Port Vale and even edge a win, they don't deserve top 6 in my opinion. They just don't, to be quite honest. I know you guys put up a decent fight recently and fighting games and stuff. But them type of games, even if it's like, for example, if someone was in the Premier League, like say Villa away at Wolves, be an example, they want to cement themselves being in the top 4. That's a game they need to win, sort of thing. I see that similar type of one where it was like Luton, if they wanted to get in like the playoffs, it was a slight chance they needed to beat you guys and they didn't. So I just think it's done, man. I can't lie. They've had a shambles of the season. I think, and I'm just not even just saying this to wind Luton Town fans up or anything. I'm just being genuinely honest. The back-to-back, and obviously this season League One, they've right now I'm going to say they've had the worst season out of every League One side in that division overall, just overall as a whole.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one, to be honest. But Vale season's obviously been bad, but I think they've been worse. Obviously, back-to-back relegations and not even getting into the top 6.
And sorry to interrupt you quickly, mate.
Go on, that's all right.
What I will say as well is this virtue trophy nonsense. No one gives a shit about that trophy. To put it
I
bluntly.
know.
I mean, respectfully, obviously to Tyler and that, he had the memories of his dad when he was younger and all that stuff going to the game when he was younger, and obviously that. So I understand that, and if anyone's got any genuine reasons like that, I totally understand why they want to win it and they're bigging it up in that sense. But as a whole, as a general thing, it is utter trash. I mean, if you're a League Two team and win it, fair enough. I think you could gloat about it. But if you're if you're like someone like Luton, obviously Plymouth were in it, obviously before they got knocked out by Luton, and obviously Stockport are. I mean, Doncaster maybe could celebrate it in terms of they didn't they come up last season. Correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't they?
Stockport.
No, Doncaster. They come up from
Oh
like League
yeah,
Two.
Doncaster did, yeah.
So if if Doncaster, so wait, did Doncaster and Stockport play yet? Yeah, Stockport beat them, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and it's like before that game got played yesterday. If Doncaster won it, I could totally understand them celebrating. They've just come up from League Two last season, but the teams like obviously before Luton and Plymouth game got sorted in the result, obviously where Luton won. If either Luton, Plymouth, or Stockport celebrate that like mad, that is embarrassing in my opinion. Like it just is. I've got to be
Yeah.
honest. And if Luton fans big that up as, oh, this is such a great season, like, I'm come on, man. Let's just be realistic. Like I say, Tyler and his dad, I totally understand it. And any other situations like that, I get it. But if not, and the rest of the Luton fans need to just wake up, man. I can't lie. But yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree, to be honest. If you're a team that is not expected to win the cup, then you know what? Yeah, fair enough. You can take it with this one. But if you're a team that's in the top 6, or even top 12, then I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one. To be fair.
Let's put it this way: if you offered Burton Albion winning the Virtue Trophy or finishing the top 6, right, with a chance of not potentially winning the top 6 in the playoffs, what would I rather choose at the end of the season? A Virtue Trophy Cup or place in the playoffs and in the playoff games? 6th place all day long in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like with a chance of going to Wembley, man. In that sense, like it's just, I don't know. I just think it's outrageous. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting. I mean, if they do win, fair play to them. But I mean, it's still a rubbish season for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trash.
getting back to the predictions. 5. Yep, we are. Yeah, on the Luton Reading. Your prediction for this one, Harry? Luton Reading.
I think we said it, didn't we? I think we've done them.
Oh God, yeah, we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I swear we have. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, game week 6. Sorry, Barnsley Exeter. Yeah, we'll start with you, Harry. Your thoughts on that one?
Oh, I mean, Barnsley can have some results where they just go to shit, and then they can win games. So you don't know what you're going to get with Barnsley, and
yeah, too inconsistent.
I mean Exeter. I mean, they had some good play against us, and like I say, I think we've got an underrated squad. So, do you know what? 2-0 Exeter, why not?
2-0 Exeter. That'll be a good result for Exeter. Zach, what's your prediction for this one?
Which one?
Barnsley Exeter.
I'm going to go for 2-0 Barnsley.
2-0 Barnsley, gone the exact opposite to Harry. For this one, I'm going to go for a draw because I just think Exeter like drawing games, to be honest. I mean, I swear they've drawn the most in the league. I'll have a look at that one in a minute.
They're due a win, and the reason why I think they'll win is obviously they got their new manager in, and obviously he hasn't even had that much time with him. And obviously he managed last night, and obviously he got announced yesterday that he was the new manager. So he still was in the dugout last night. So and they look good. So if they can play like they did against us and have like a few days with him before the game, I can't see why not. Why they can't beat a Barnsley side who are really inconsistent. They either played fairly decent or really quite garbage, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, to be honest. For this one, I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And Exeter to keep up with that, their love of drawing. Blackpool Wigan. This is a really good one down that bottom end of the league. Zach, what are your thoughts on the Blackpool Wigan?
A 0-0 draw.
Fair enough. I think this is an really important game which both teams really need to win. In a 0-0 draw, I don't think either team would be happy. Harry, what are your thoughts?
I'm just checking something just to make sure. Well, it looks like he's still fit. It's Joe Taylor, obviously, on loan at Wigan. Obviously, I said in one of the first 2 episodes that Blackpool and Orient will fight it out on the last day, in my personal opinion, for that last spot. I still think that could be the case. I think with the fact Joe Taylor, he looks good for Wigan, looks lively. Obviously, from what I remember, he scored that goal against Luton, which is his former club, and obviously on loan from Huddersfield, but still a good player to have, like especially in terms of where they are in the league. Wigan, Blackpool. See, for me, I think it's a battle between who could score, Ashley Fletcher or Joe Taylor.
No.
And I'll be honest, I think we're going to have the better goalkeeper in Tickle. So, no, mate, I really don't know. I'll go for 2-0 Wigan.
Oh, 2-0 Wigan, that would be a really good result for Wigan, that would. Which would take them out of the bottom 4. My score prediction for this one, I mean, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Wigan win. As well, both going for wins there. Is that going for a 0-0 draw? Coming on to Bradford, Leighton Orient. Bradford, I think they did lose the last game. Correct me if I'm wrong. We'll have a look now. Because I did say that I think Bradford would maybe drop. Yeah, they did lose the last game. This one will be an interesting one. Leighton Orient, they're going there for the points. And if anything better would be brilliant. For them. My score prediction, I think this will be very comfortable for Bradford. I'm going to go for a 4-0 Bradford win. Harry, we'll come to you next. What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh, mate. If it was at Orient, I think it could be quite interesting. But
Yeah.
I think the fact that Bradford, I think, should be comfortable. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was close. I still expect Bradford to win nonetheless. But say if Bradford won by like 1 goal, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to go for a 3-0 Bradford win.
Yeah, 3-0 Bradford win seems comfortable, to be honest. About similar prediction to mine. Zach, your prediction for this game?
2-1. Who was it, sorry?
Bradford, Leighton Orient.
2-1 Leighton Orient.
Oh, gone completely opposite of us. Great win for Leighton Orient, that'd be. Yeah, swiftly coming on to. Wow, it's the Brewers at home again to Stevenage. We'll have to start with Harry on this one. What are your thoughts and prediction?
Well, we should have beat them man away earlier in the season. And that point now in the playoffs, it was a big game for them. And I just put it bluntly that their home support is absolutely tin pot, as well as their
100%.
away support. And yeah, they're just a boring club. I can't lie. And it's a shame in the sense of some of the players they've got, because some of the players are actually all right, like Jamie Reid and players like that. So we should have beaten 3-2 away. We could have scored one of our last couple of chances we had in the reverse fixture late on. Oh, man. I think because we drew against Exeter, I think we have to try and win this game. Depending on results, if we do get a draw and say if everyone else loses below us, it wouldn't be that bad. It's a point gained. However, then they've dropped off, and I don't expect them to be as good as they were when we played them when they were in the top 6. And we played well that day. And as I've said over on my channel, Tyree Shade, if we have him against any League One side, we can beat anybody in the league. So I will go with a. Do you know what? I'll be really confident, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but 3-0 Burton Albion.
Wow, go on, Harry. That prediction will be good, won't it? Great win for for Burton. That'd be 2-3 nils in a row now. You've predicted.
Yeah.
Zach, Burton, Stevenage. Predictions.
3-1 Stevenage.
Oh dear.
No, no.
That's twice now, Zach. You've gone against Burton.
I know.
Oh. Do you not like Burton?
I do.
Yeah, that's your prediction. I predicted last week 2-2. I just don't like Stevenage as a club, to be honest. I just think it's boring fan base, boring club, as you said. And if they went up in the Championship, it'd just be wrong. I mean, they're so tin pot. For a League One club, they're a tin pot. I mean, chatting beating in the Championship, wow. That'd be, and they probably won't even sell out.
Yeah, pretty much, mate.
So, for this one, I'm going to go for a 1-0 Burton Albion win.
I wouldn't be surprised if something like that's a really shit, scrappy game and we just get a goal from Shade or something. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. You know, I believe in Burton, unlike you, Zach. Right, coming on to the last two games, obviously Peterborough's game is Peterborough Vale's called off. AFC Wimbledon Northampton's a 12 o'clock kickoff. Just seen that. I may as well come on. We'll come on to the Plymouth one though, because as we'll go in order. Plymouth Doncaster must win for Plymouth. Doncaster, they're there to. They would want to win on that one as well. Harry, what are your predictions for this one?
Oh man, I mean, Plymouth got to win. I mean, what I forgot to say a bit earlier on Plymouth. I think the fact that Talage is injured that for a little bit that could cost them. I'll be honest in getting the playoffs. I know they've got Pebble. He's a good player, but Talage is the main one for me. I don't see Doncaster losing this game. I've got to be honest. I'll go for Desmond. I'll go 2-2.
2-2. Interesting game that sounds. Obviously Tolai coming to Plymouth from us. I mean, we hate Tolai. Now, and I think that switch it just baffled us, to be honest, because I mean, why would he go? Why would he go to Plymouth, who didn't even when he joined Plymouth that they weren't even doing well. They were around the position we were, if not below. So yeah, none of our fans like Tolai anymore, but he did do a good job whilst he was with us. Zach, your thoughts on this one? Plymouth Doncaster.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Plymouth.
2-1 Plymouth win. And as for my prediction, I'm going to go for 2-1. We'll go for 2-1 Plymouth win. I'll go with Zach on this one. And as for the last game of the season, no, sorry, of the week. Why did I say that? AFC Wimbledon Northampton. Should be a really good game. This one, if AFC Wimbledon win, I do actually think they will stay up. If Northampton lose, then it will be a terrible, terrible loss. And one where they do need to get something from. I guess I'll start with this one. I'm going to go I'll go for a 2-2 draw on this one. Harry, let's go to you next. Last game of the week. Your prediction for this one?
I mean, to be quite honest, when I look at this game, it just sounds so boring. But one where I actually would not even be surprised if Wimbledon absolutely battered. Can't even say their names because they're just so boring. But Northampton, yeah. But oh mate, 4-0. 4-0.
Wow.
Wimbledon. Yeah.
That is your first crazy prediction.
I mean, if they get battered Northampton and he ain't sacked. That is unbelievable, mate. It really
Yeah,
is.
100%. Zach, your thoughts on this one?
Which one?
AFC Wimbledon, Northampton.
Ooh. Gonna go for 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw, same with me. I think we're loving the 2-2 draws here. We've got at least 3 or 4 of them. But that's all the predictions done. Can you see the notes on here, guys?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Yeah, are them all predictions all correct? Nothing. I haven't got anything wrong this week.
Yeah, no, correct, mate. I just saved a photo of it as well, so.
Good. Sorry, the bit wonky. Just not. I've tried to find an app for it, but no,
Yeah,
it wasn't an app for 3 people. But yeah, hopefully Zach, you can get off the mark and get a prediction right this week.
Oh, please.
Fingers crossed. And obviously, me and Harry obviously both on 2. It'd be interesting to see how many we get for us all 3.
So did we actually get like the scores like spot on, or was it just like in terms of a team winning, or was it actually a bang on scoreline sort of thing?
Bang on scoreline.
Oh wow! I mean, I'll take that. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean 2 about a bang on scoreline for 2 is brilliant.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Here are the scores here. I'm just going to keep track of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that'll be pretty much all for today. Let us know your predictions in the comments and in the live chat, as this will be a premiere. Again, thank you for coming on, Harry and Zach. Really appreciate it, and make sure to go and subscribe to Harry's channel, Brummy on Tour. Post a link in the description. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And let's see how many predictions we can get bang on this week. Like, subscribe, everyone, and up the Vale.
Up the Brewers.